And when he comes out with opinions on quarterbacks, I listen. He is now joining me in Connecticut via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. NFL analyst, co-host of Pro Football Talk Live. All right, so you came out with your quarterback list, and these are always fun. We've been saying every day we take a list and talk about it. So let's look at Chris Sims' top 10 quarterbacks in the league. These are all graded. So it goes Mahomes, Wilson. I agree. Some disagreement, but Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun, Lamar, Carson, Matt, Dak, Matt, Stafford, and Cam Newton. Cam's higher than I would put him. Now let's go to 11 through 20. So 11 through 20 is Tannehill, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Big Ben, Brady, Breeze, Phillip Rivers, Josh Allen, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. The first one that jumps out to me is 21-5 and 26 starts, Jimmy Garoppolo. You have him as a lower third quarterback. So what does the tape tell you? What don't you like with him?
Right. It's a good question, first off. And he is the kind of guy, has the type of talent to be a top 10 quarterback or right around, that talk or right around that area of guys, certainly. I think the big thing is, first off, the stats could be a little bit misleading with Jimmy Garoppolo. The game is served up on a silver platter for him in a very special way because Kyle Shanahan, I would argue, is the greatest play designer in the sport right now. It's either him or Sean Payton or Josh McDaniels. It's one of those three. But I think the thing that I look at more than anything is, with him at times can be a little dicey with decision making, certainly. And then even, some of the throwing at times is less than. Hey, we all look at that last throw right against the Chiefs, the deep post. He's wide open. He's not a great deep ball thrower. He's not a great outside the numbers, comebacks, deep out routes, those type of throws. That's not his forte either. So I think because of that, that's where I got him docked at. Now, he's a pretty good athlete, no doubt about that. Got a quick release. It's not a big-time arm. But, again, I'd like everybody also to take into account, it was his first year as a starter. He's going to get better. I know he's been around for a while, and we've been talking about him. But I think this is a guy that's still kind of growing into himself and what he is as a quarterback. But, I think the things that concern me a little bit are what we saw in the playoffs. A team and a coach become a little gun shy because they weren't quite sure where the ball was going to go.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if I always trusted the decision or the accuracy of the throw, I guess, is the ultimate thing there that I would say.
Well, I think you're a point that I can't argue because I like Garoppolo more than you. But the point I can't argue, I watched the Niners take the ball out of his hands in the playoffs. And that's telling me they didn't trust him, and I can't argue that. Like Andy Reid, trailing or a lead, gives it to Mahomes. By the way, Seattle gives it to Russell. So that argument, I can't debunk that at all. Now, let's go to Aaron Rodgers. For the first time, you rank the top 40 quarterbacks every year. You have moved him down. You put Russell ahead of him. So do I. I have the last 2 to 3 years. So why are you moving down? You think he's the best quarterback that's ever played. You've now moved him down. What are you seeing?
Yeah, well, it's all about what they are right now in the 2020 season, just so everybody knows that. I'm not looking about career accomplishments or anything like that. And, yeah, I think this is the first year I'm going into a season since 2010 where I go, ooh, Aaron Rodgers isn't the best quarterback in football. Still an awesome arm, quick release, can make plays off schedule, can do things that a lot of quarterbacks in football still can't do. The reason he falls down to number 3 to me, the first thing would be Mahomes and Russell Wilson, I think, can do more with less right now than Aaron Rodgers can. When the system doesn't deliver or the injuries or the skill guys aren't up to par, I think Mahomes and Wilson can do more that way. I think the other thing I'll say where I think Rodgers has fallen off a little bit, do I see a slippage in skills to a degree? Yes, it's finite. I mean, we're talking about one of the most gifted guys ever, but I think a few miles per hour have fallen off his fastball. I don't think he's as fast and as quick to dance around and pull off that Rodgers magic that we used to see him do so much. So I think that's declined. And here would be my biggest thing that I would like to see Aaron Rodgers change about his game, because I think he's got a lot of good years left in front of him, and I don't think his arm is ever going to really fall off. Like, it's never going to fall off a cliff. He's always going to have a top 5, top 10 arm, even if he played till he was 50 years old. But I'd like to see him cut it loose a little bit more.
Yeah.
And what I say when I say that, Colin, is within the normal confines of the offense, there's too many plays when I watch on film where I go, okay, 5-step drop. He took one hitch. The guy's open. Throw it. Let it loose. But he's a little careful with it. And then he holds it. And he looks for something else. And, because of the skills declining just a little bit, he can't always make the magic that he used to. Now, he was forced to play that way for a long, long time. So I think he's trying to break out of that. But I think with the getting older in age and what I saw on film last year, and remember the Matt LaFleur argument on the field early in the season? That's exactly what it was about. It was like, hey, there was a guy open. You're Aaron Rodgers. You could hit a fly on the wall. Cut it loose. Throw it. You can do it. And he's a little careful that way sometimes to not pull the trigger, and that can lead to sacks or throwing the ball away too many times. And I just wish Rodgers would cut it loose a little bit more in that fashion.
It's a really good observation about the Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers confrontation early. I also noticed in your top 10, people that I don't think are naturally gifted throwers. I don't think Dak has a great arm. Deshaun's not a gifted thrower. It was my knock at a Clemson. But you have them ranked very high. Now Cam's got a hose. Cam's issue's not that. But, you have Dak and Deshaun higher than a lot of people would because they're not the classic tight spiral. Yeah, right. I would say they're kind of B arms. But why do you have Deshaun as high as you do? Why do you have Dak that high?
Well, I think Dak, first off with Deshaun, I think Deshaun's arm is better than you're giving it credit. And I'm not trying to disrespect you on your own show or anything, but just having seen it in person, I don't think TV does it justice all the way with Deshaun Watson. I think because he can throw the ball with such ease and fluidity and smoothness that we think, it's not moving at that fast of a pace. Now, where I'll totally agree with you, Colin, is, there's some precision passing that Deshaun Watson needs to get better at. He's not the greatest short game thrower, an intermediate passer all the time. For a guy as smart and as talented he is, he takes too many sacks and throws the ball away too much at times. But, again, that's an offense that's had a crap offensive line, really only one go-to wide receiver, and he can make chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what a whole lot. And I'm big on that. Plus, in that offense, it's not always quarterback friendly. They push the ball down the field.
Yeah.
They expect him to make 20 and 30-yard throws regularly.
Yeah.
And to me, when nothing's there, he's one of the best off-schedule players in football. So I put him there because I think he can play in any offense, and he could carry just about any offense to fool you to think, hey, that team's pretty good. And I would go, yeah, but they got number 4, and he's great, and he makes them look good. Prescott, I think you're spot on with a lot of what you said. It's not like a gifted special arm, but he is a good deep ball thrower. He does throw the ball pretty accurately. It's not like a, whoa, wow, did you see that throw? And then, you got to take into account the way, look at that play right there. The way he moves in the pocket and slides around, he's much better at doing those things than we want to give him credit for. Plus the threat of him running off schedule and scrambling and bootlegs, but also the design runs they have for him too. That's encompassing to what he brings to the offense. And I think because of that, yes, I think he's a top 10 quarterback in football. It might not wow you with sex appeal all the time, but he's big, he's tough, he has a good arm, he's a very good athlete. Size is a skill at the quarterback position because he's not affected by people around him in the pocket when people are grabbing at him or touching him. He still can throw 20-yard throws down the throw and not be affected by that. So because of all those things, that's where I stand with Dak Prescott.
Good arguments. Okay, so I made this argument, and you're perfect because you played in Tampa, and I worked in Tampa. And I said that Boston is an academic, political, and sports hub. The Celtics compete against the Red Sox, compete against the Bruins, compete against the Patriots. It feeds itself. It's prep school, academic, politics. Right. It's intense. The weather's intense. The people are intense. The arguments are intense. Tampa's the opposite. Tampa's Ybor City, and let's go and have cocktails. Let's get on the sailboat. Let's take Friday off. And I said, it's easy. It's easy for intense people to lighten up and go golf. It's hard to ask laid-back people to become Tom Coughlin intense. And I wonder with Tom in Tampa, if it will be off-putting, his intensity on a 2-game losing streak, his demands for a culture down there in football and lifestyle that is the opposite, the antithesis of Boston. Your thoughts?
Well, I think you make a lot of great points, and I would agree with you and just about everything you said there. You know, my thing I would add to it is just to go, well, Tampa, that's exactly what you need. And that's why I love the Bucs, but that's why you've been irrelevant for a long time, because you haven't had enough players or coaches or whatever it may be of that attitude and mindset that Tom Brady has. I mean, again, listen, look at what he's doing right now down there. You're right. He's going to hold that whole organization to a standard. Hey, COVID-19, pandemic, whatever it is, Tom Brady's out there throwing footballs and leading guys out there on the practice field daily. And that's what I respect about him. I mean, there's just no BS in him. And yeah, are there going to be days where I think the coaches in the organization will be like, man, this guy he's tough to work with. He's demanding. He expects a lot out of us. Yes, that's right. But it's going to make them a better football team when all's said and done. And also the other angle I really like that he brings down there. You know, you always hear that Bruce Arians, aggressive passing game, right, Colin? No risk it, no biscuit, all of that. Well, I think Brady's going to bring a little bit of that New England short passing game along with it. And now you got the combination of Bruce Arians and some of that Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels stuff. And I think it's going to make that offense even more dangerous. So that's why I like the marriage there. And I think Tom is really the perfect guy to kind of give that poker in the butt to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization in general.
Good stuff. Chris Sims, NFL analyst, NBC Sports, Pro Football Talk. You look great. Say hi to your dad. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
You the man. You look great, too. I'll see you, big guy.
My hair doesn't, but the rest is okay. My hair's an unmade bed of a man. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.